Good morning, loves, and welcome to Real Talk with Tamara. As you guys come into the room, please hit the like button. Also, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. I hope that you guys are doing okay on this morning. I know that I am. I woke up very happy this morning. God is awesome. I always express the importance of hitting the like button because the like button helps to keep the video in the algorithm. Okay. So, like, share, subscribe, comment. I want to thank you all for your support for the channel. Let me see who has been sending me cash apps because I got one this morning as I was on the phone. It came through. So, I want to thank I want to thank Miss Black Barbie. Thank you for your cash app. I want to thank Miss Who Done It and Miss Shirley. Okay. Thank you guys for your cash apps. I appreciate that so much. Your support for the channel. Okay. If you all would like to support the channel, you could definitely support the channel via Cash App. I am trying to find that. Here it is. Okay. I wanted to talk about, I was intending to do this video yesterday. I did not get the opportunity to do it, but I definitely want to touch on this morning. A Fulton County deputy was arrested for trying to smuggle contraband to a defendant in the YSL case. Okay. Now, I guess, of course, we've been seeing what has been happening. It seems like it's happening everywhere. Okay. It's not something that just started happening. It has been happening, but it's starting to happen more, especially as we start to see a lot of these high profile cases and newer people that they're hiring. And, it seems like people don't, first of all, they couldn't value themselves of their livelihood because they already know the consequences, especially of a correctional officer or a police officer, uh, you know, doing corrupt things. Like they are held to a higher standard, although these jailers are not police officers, they're still held to a higher standard. And so I know in the Tennessee and Mississippi area, they get more time when they are caught doing things of this nature. But I want to go to this. I found this very interesting because these women have shot off. Okay.
We've got some new developments tonight involving yet another twist in this ongoing YSL Rico case. We're talking about a Fulton County Sheriff's deputy arrested earlier today and accused of trying to smuggle contraband to a defendant in the case. This deputy, Akiba Stanley, in this mugshot here, in the past hour, the Fulton County Sheriff announced she has been fired. And we have learned she was previously fired from the Atlanta Police Department when an investigation found she was unfit to serve as an officer. 11 Alive's Natasha Givens joining us now live in studio tonight. And in the past few hours, we received the arrest warrant for Stanley. So, Latasha, what is going on here?
Well, there's a lot to unpack, Jennifer. The deputy is accused of having an inappropriate relationship with Christian Eppinger by communicating with him on Instagram, visiting his cell, and trying to smuggle items to him. Now, you may recall Eppinger is accused of shooting an Atlanta police officer last year. He remains behind bars tonight, and the deputy is too. Akiba Stanley took an oath to serve and protect, but officials say her track record as an officer is now criminal. Her arrest warrants detail her having an inappropriate relationship with an inmate, visiting his cell, communicating with an inmate through Instagram, and trying to smuggle contraband to Christian Eppinger from one of his relatives. Eppinger is accused of shooting a veteran Atlanta police officer several times last year while he was being taken into custody. He's also a defendant in the YSL Rico case awaiting trial. Stanley's charges include a violation of oath of office, reckless conduct, and conspiracy to commit a felony. But this isn't the first time her conduct as an officer has been questioned. According to state records, Stanley started working for the Atlanta Police Department back in 2016. But during a 30-day period, she received several complaints. Some are outlined in this investigation obtained by 11 Alive. It states her actions during traffic stops made her unfit to be an officer. The investigation also found other officers complained about her behavior. She was terminated from APD back in 2018. Post-certification records also show Stanley was ordered to complete a 6-month ethics and professionalism course at her own expense back in 2020. She then began working at the Fulton County Sheriff's Office last October. And in a statement late this afternoon, the Fulton County Sheriff announced Stanley has in fact been fired, and he calls her actions reckless and put the lives of others in danger. Okay.
Latasha, thank you so much for bringing us that report.
Child, these women done went crazy. I think what they're gonna have to start doing in these jails, because over at the jail east in the Shelby County, Memphis area, I think they started incorporating it a little bit now, but they mainly have women working at that jail. I think they started to slowly incorporate allowing men to work at, to be housed at the females jail, that's jail east. But because so much inappropriateness was going on at one time with the men and the women, the inmates, okay, they stopped that for a very, very long time. And you still don't see a lot of men working at jailies because you have a lot of prostitutes come in. You have women that was accusing some of the men of sexual assaults and things of that nature. So they, for a while, the Shelby County Jail stopped that, and they, like I said, the men from being housed, not housed, but working out there. I think they started incorporating it a little bit when they brought the male juveniles out there, but they still didn't like for deputy jailer males to work in the facility with the women because of all of the issues that had gone on. But the women were always able to work in the jail with the males. But it seems like something's going to happen because, see, you have more men to go to jail. The male 201 is bigger. That jail is bigger than Jellies. Jellies is not a real big jail. You have more men to come in and out. So it's very heavily saturated with women. As a matter of fact, I believe it's more women that's working at the 201 Popular Jail at this point. And, hey, it looks like they might have to start segregating that again since the women are falling in love with inmates. Okay. But this lady right here, what I can't understand, I found this story very interesting because these women, I can't understand what is going on. Now, this lady had issues when she was an Atlanta police officer. They said inappropriate behavior and things of that nature. She received several complaints within a 30-day period, and they terminated her. Now, they did not verify if she was on probation and things of that nature. When they said a 30, I don't know how long she worked for the Atlanta Police Department, but she was a commissioned officer at one point, and they had to get rid of her with APD. Okay. And so when you get fired from one police department, oftentimes it's hard to get on with other police departments. And so a lot of times when people want to stay into law enforcement, they will go and start working into the jails. Okay. And that is exactly what she did. And now we see why Atlanta got rid of her. But I can't understand why Fulton County did not take that into account, that this lady had been fired. I know oftentimes they will omit stuff on their applications, but I'm sure she did not omit that. Sometimes they don't do thorough background checks because she could have very well put that she resigned or something like that. But with Fulton, I believe Fulton County sits in Atlanta, or Atlanta sits in Fulton County. So that would have been easy to find out. I mean, they might have been short, just like the Shelby County Jail, and hiring anything. And look at what is going on. Inappropriate relationship. Now, I know when they say an inappropriate relationship, she going into his cell, it ain't no telling what they ain't saying. Because there's a lot of stuff that, started pinging in my mind when they said it is an inappropriate relationship. Okay. When they said that it is she had an inappropriate relationship and was going into his cell. And I'm thinking about what they said about this lady with straight drop. She she manned him, and then she turned while he's been in the hole, and then she worked overtime every day, and she did not want to be put anywhere else because, see, they want people, they're so short at the Shelby County Jail, they beg people to work overtime. Okay, so they basically, if somebody agrees to work overtime, they basically just put them wherever they want to go. You want to work ASEG, because nobody wants to work ASEG. Hell, because I've seen folks, when they say, well, I'm gonna put you in ass egg, no, I'm going home. I don't want to work no overtime because I'm not working ass egg or the fourth floor. Because all of the fourth floor is the jungle, and then all of the people that are being disciplined, all the crazies are in the hole in ass egg. So nobody wanted to work overtime to work ass egg, not unless it was over in the like over in the middle of the night, overnight, okay? Not unless it was overnight when they was asleep, okay? And when they woke up, they be going home because other than that, they couldn't deal with them. Banging on the wall, acting a fool, wanting to put piss all in cups to throw it all in your face. Them folks crazy. So I'm hearing that, that there was some inappropriate stuff going on as it relates to, she was same thing. This lady was going all in, straight drop sale and all that stuff. Okay. But yeah, I wanted to get on here and talk about that because I don't understand what is going on with these women. This is a high profile case. It's like they become starstruck. The YSL Rico case is a high profile case too. And so she has messed her life up. Basically, she's messed her life up. And I mean, she's taking stuff in there to him. She's smuggling things in. And it's a lot of stuff that they don't put out there into the atmosphere. So she's going to be in bigger trouble than the guy that's on the Rico case. Ain't that something? So y'all, I had to put my 2 cents. I was intending to do this video yesterday, but I had gotten very busy. But I think it's a shame that so many women are falling weak to this. I think they're going to have to give better psychological exams and things of that nature as it relates to some of these women. Because let me tell you something, if she was working with one of his relatives or something like that, I'm saying a lot of these women are being, especially at this point, because the Shelby County Sheriff's Office is not able to choose from the cream of the crop anymore because don't nobody want to work up in there. So a lot of these men who have girlfriends and stuff and boyfriends and stuff and relatives that don't have background histories and things of that nature, okay, they are applying for these jobs and getting these jobs and getting into these jails just so that they can smuggle in stuff, especially these women, okay? But some of these, all of them, that's not happening for everybody. Some of these women have been working in these jails for a very, very long time, and they flat out fall in love with inmates. They fall in love with inmates. They be starstruck. They're weak-minded and things of that nature. And it's just sad. They want to be, I don't know if they think if they do something for them on the inside, if they're connected to some celebrities on the outside, they're going to get some favor. Some people are just starstruck like that. And then some people are just weak. Okay. Because when I was working for the sheriff's office, I know a few times there were women that just flat out fell in love with inmates and ended up getting fired from their job. They risked their job bringing them in stuff, or thought that they was gonna get married. How in the hell you gonna feel like a nigga that's looking at life? I wouldn't even want him. He ain't nothing he can do for you. But I guess they feel like if they secretly, they messing around, or you can't marry an inmate without the people knowing that they can secretly be having sex. You're gonna get caught at some point. Okay. And some of these are older women that's doing this stuff. I don't know what's going on, y'all. I don't know what's going on. But I found it interesting that these people are more and more people are being able to be paid off and risking their livelihood and their freedom to bring in and smuggle contraband to these inmates, and then having inappropriate relationships. So she done fell in love with him, and I'm sure it had a lot to do with that case being high profile. For some reason, they fall in love. That hell, it has been all correctional officers, deputy jailers, or whatever. I'm talking about in different states. They fall in love with these high profile inmates and these real dangerous inmates that are looked at as serial killers, knowing if they was on the outside, he slit her throat. Okay, but it's that's why I know they got to start doing better as it relates to they got to start back doing knocking on doors, and because they used to do that, but they're hiring people so fast because there's a shortage because don't nobody want to work. But they used to go and knock on doors and talk to your neighbors and talk to distant relatives to see how you was mentally, talk to schoolmates and stuff like that when you were going to work for jobs like this. Okay. They used to do that. They've gotten lax. They used to kind of do it like the FBI do it. You know, the FBI do that. But now they've gotten very lax. They don't do door to door neighbors and distant family members and things of that nature to try to find out what type of person you are, ex co-workers and things of that nature. But they're gonna have to start back doing that. These folks is crazier than the damn folks in the jail. You crazier than the inmate. The inmate ain't crazy. Hell, he's smart. He know how to finesse you into putting your livelihood into danger. Okay? These folks is these women mentally ill that's doing this. And they gonna have to start watching these men. Because they'll do it. Because they fall in love with a man. Okay? They'll do it. Okay? So I just found I was like, this is crazy. I found this story very, very interesting. Like I said, I was intending to talk about this yesterday, but I didn't get the opportunity. But y'all, ladies, don't do it. A man that's locked up, especially one that's looking at life, can't do nothing for you. He only wants you so you can bring him a cell phone in and bring him some food and give him extra water and all of that. And then once you fired, you ain't gonna hear from him no more. He ain't gonna call you on his phone on his time, okay? Because he got to call his real girlfriend that he left out. He left, not unless you're gonna buy him some calling cards, and he gonna use that to talk to the other girl. You can't do nothing for him because all he wants is for you to smuggle in something for him, okay? I'm telling you, all right. I've seen it happen. I remember this jailer fell in love with this inmate when I was working for the sheriff's office. She fell in love with him. He told her he was going to marry her. He was looking at 15 years. Okay. And she was doing some inappropriate stuff. He told her they was going to get married. So she quit her job. And she had been working there about 11 or 12 years. She quit her job so that they can get married while he was in jail. Okay. And once she quit her job, he quit her. And I remember I was sitting in there. The chief had her on speaker. She called him back like a year and a half later and apologizing, saying she knew better and all of that. That's because the nigga had told her, he gave her his ass to kiss. He was an inmate. Inmates got plenty of game. I can't tell y'all how many times girls coming down there to see them inmates, they just got out the hospital. Ooh, Lord, don't you get me started. They just got out the hospital from having a baby instead of going home. Okay. I have wanted little Rufus to see his baby. Lady, you just had a baby yesterday. You supposed to be at home in bed before you have a setback. They down there bringing the baby for little Rufus to look at his baby. Hell, little Rufus asked if he knew he had a baby. He knew he had a baby coming. He had no business going and breaking into cars and robbing people, right? They all down there. They don't go home. They go straight to jail visitation. They got the baby. She all bent over because her body is still open. She just had a baby. Titties dripping. Okay. It's a darn shame. All right. Hooked over. It's just, it's sad. It's sad. Okay. What that these girls, these women, I'm ashamed that these older women, these girls ain't got nothing to look up to. If these older women just as weak. But they going up there to little, he had wanted to see his baby get down there. It's another girl waiting in jail visitation that just had a baby last week with her baby in her arm. Okay. They about to fight. Both of them gonna have a darn setback. It happens. So these inmates got plenty of game. When they should have had their asses at home, instead they out, putting their bodies, putting themselves in danger of having a setback. Okay? It's a shame. So, they're gonna have to do better, and I guess as I think as a woman in my 40s, I feel like we have to show these young women. We have to show them how it's supposed to be done. But hell, what can a lot of us show them if women my age acting being damn fools? They ain't got nothing to look up to. Whew, child. Ooh. I could go on and on about that, y'all. It ain't nothing. It ain't nothing an inmate can say to me. Okay, it ain't nothing an inmate wouldn't be able to say nothing to me. And then these women being starstruck like that and falling in love with these high profile, and they have to watch. They're gonna have to start watching the men too, because see, with these high profile, more and more of these rappers they're gang members. Okay. So more and more than the FBI is getting them, right? They're getting them. So it's going to be more of them to go into jail when, a lot of these jailers and stuff, they come from the hood, or these inmates able to bribe them, such and such is my, I got a connection with such and such, he over there record label. Yeah, I know. You hook me up. He'll hook you up on the outside. They get to thinking about that. They don't think about they're not going to get away with it. So these men will be able to be bribed too. Hell. Okay. But anyways, you guys, I found that story interesting. You guys, I want you guys to please like, share, and subscribe. If you would like to support the channel, you could definitely support the channel via Cash App. Okay. I'll talk with you guys